Getting on track. That's what we're talking about today, and it directly ties in with the video we did yesterday. Um, we're going to talk about getting on track and the actual process to doing that. Not going to be on here super long, but um, just like the image you see right here, you see the train rails there. You need to, uh, if you want to grow spiritually, if you want to grow mentally, if you want to grow in wisdom, if you want to grow in understanding, if you want to grow um, physically, with your health, with your diet, with your wellness, if you want to grow socially, if you want to develop and grow socially, whether it's being a more social person, whether it's excuse me, marriage, um, if you want to grow economically, if you want to develop your skills, if you want to uh, grow financially, um, learning a new skill or trade or whatever. In all these, the only way it's going to happen is by you getting on track, getting your life on rails. Okay? Write out a plan, make sure you stick to it, and make sure you're winning each day. What do I mean winning each day? Make sure you're doing something towards that area you want to grow and develop in each day. If you really want to accelerate it and just have shocking results, you do something related to that goal you set out for. You do something related to it. In purpose, on purpose, like I like to say. You do it consciously. Okay? Check this out. I'll tell you something. Inevitably, you're gonna set out to do a goal, and you're gonna be met with obstacles. Okay? Why? Because the obstacles are what grow you. An example: you set out, hey, I wanna lift weights. Guess what's one of the first obstacles you're met with? Just the heavy resistance of trying to lift that weight. It's an obstacle. But what does that obstacle do? It makes you stronger. So one of my goals I'd set out to develop uh, I think it was in a business area. But what I realized, I was tired all the time. I couldn't focus in a lot of ways. And on one side, and then also I want to develop physically too, get in better shape. But like I said, the thing I noticed is just my mind wasn't there, and I was tired all the time. And not so much tired, but lethargic tired. Didn't have that, you know. And so I had to focus on that first. They have um, a methodology, and what they tell you to do is write down all the goals, all the things you want to achieve, you need to achieve, right? And then they said, what is the keystone goal? So what's the goal that if you get this thing met, it's gonna topple a whole bunch of the other goals? And for me, it was energy levels. My energy levels were down. Come to find out, from talking about it, doing due diligence, focusing on that day in, day out, come to find out there were a lot of things lacking in my diet, such as salt. I found out I was low on salt, low on iodine. Certain foods I eliminated. Y'all know I eliminated grains out of my diet. And and reduced the intake of certain other foods, and started consuming more fruit and vegetables. And I noticed, and I'm simplifying it, but there's other things I did too. But I noticed a huge change in my energy levels and my ability to focus, and the clarity of my thinking by attacking that goal. And it's so easy to do now with the technology. If you use the technology as a tool to develop yourself, like you could do this super fast with AI. You could do stuff that it had taken you 2 or 3 months to do. You could do it in like 15 minutes. But again, what are you doing? If you're off track, if your life is not on track, you know what you do with your time? You have no direction. You have no guidance. You just wonder wherever your attention takes you. And guess what? Everything is vying for your attention. That's why I said they call it the attention economy. If you're not on track, in purpose, on purpose, and focus, when you get on social media, you're going to get on there and shit's going to grab your attention, have you somewhere out in space somewhere doing nothing. And people have made a life of this. This with a lot of people, man. I see them. I again, being a head of assembly, I see the saints who are just aimless and they're going nowhere. And don't even realize that they're completely deceived by Satan, and they just squander their time away, and they come up to the Shabbat and praise and look all holy, and they live lives of distraction and aimlessness. And you got to, I'm telling you, you got to be in purpose, on purpose in this day and age. Look, in this society, in this age we live in, Satan's weapon for the destruction of humanity is distraction. Get you distracted by people, places, things. He could get you more distracted now because we're so connected. People can call me. People can post videos. Like, we're connected like we've never been in the history of humanity. And what he does is gets you sidetracked and distracted with people, places, things, social media. You insert it in there how he does it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a fight and it's a warfare. And you gotta, again, you can't be looking over here, shooting over here when the enemy's shooting you from behind. You need to engage the enemy and know where the fire is coming from. And it's a battle right here. That shit in between your ears. You got to get that stuff set up. You got to get it laid out. I'm trying to tell you. You have to. Man, I'm telling you, I'm just telling you, y'all, be seeing this with these generations coming up, these younger generations. Man, some of these people are just they grew up. Nobody warned them. They didn't get any real good guidance, and they're just locked in front of this device. And it just has the most valuable asset you have. And it's not time. Time isn't your most valuable asset or resource. Time isn't your most valuable resource that you have as a person. Your most valuable resource is your attention. And if your attention is not on the Most High Yah and His way of doing things, that's it. And then comes the judgment. And man, I try to tell people this. Like I said, man, I had a saint here who died, was killed due to distraction, being distracted, looking at a phone, playing video games. in in the midst of doing that, died. Y'all, it's not a game. Y'all think I'm trying to warn y'all. This thing ain't this hairy fairy church spirituality thing that Christianity taught you. This is purposeful, intentful, if that's a word, war on your mind coming at you. And it's like it's on purpose. Like it's not vague. It's not all this ambiguity shit. It is willful intent warfare on your mind. And you wonder why you look at some of these generations coming up. It's like, bro, how are they gonna make it in a couple of years? Moving with no direction like that. Brothers and sisters, you gotta get on track. You gotta get on track with your health. You gotta get on track with your mind. You gotta get on track spiritually. You gotta get on track economically. Like, you gotta get on track, or Satan gonna bleed your ass out slow. He gonna slow kill you. He's out there stalking like a roaring lion, trying to devour you. You got to get in purpose, on purpose. And I'm trying to tell people, I've been putting a lot of time in these videos, for a season. Look, that's gonna end. Because why? I gotta be dialed in like a laser. I've reduced my I'm gonna show you. I've reduced my social circle. This is the size of my social circle now. A pin dot. That's my social circle. Why? Because I gotta be dialed in, yo. I gotta be locked in spiritually. And a lot of people, man, they're trained to be distracted. They're off track. And you ain't derailing me. I can be an example, but yeah. You see what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters, you got to get on track. Write it down. Write out goals. Stick to that. Once and a goal written out is just a wish on paper. That goal doesn't become something attainable till you create a plan and make a schedule and write out a daily routine that involves hitting that each time, doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so that, brothers and sisters, what I wanted to come on here and say. Hopefully it is impactful. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. And I'm Michael Israel, and with that said, shalom, shalom.